Chummy Redknapp's words landed like a flab of precision chatty, ane of the best young player I've ever seen, when those lines come from a pundy who has watched talent bloom and fad for decade. You stop scrolling, and for decade you stoop scrolling. What makes this extraordinary is not just the praise itself, but the subject. Max Dowman, a 15-year-old, who very recently belonged to the shadows of Academy P and Youth unto Victor. Now he's training with the first team, and those shadowed session have started to look like the first page of a very public story. Arsenal, fresh from a nervy, and their opening day win over Manchester United, arrive at the new campaign wearing both expectation and a subtle, electric uncertainty. New phase in jokers and Suter Bamendi reshape the squad, but it's the whisper of a teenage prodigy that has sightest of a teenage forward. Scud coaches and pundit rarely use absolute language about teenagers. To call someone one of the best is to risk being wrong. Redknapp isn't careless. He's watched this kid since he was 7. He seeds, and that long gaze give weight to his claim. To his claim. That lineage from 7 to 15 is the spin of the narrative. It suggests not talent discovered yesterday, but one carefully cultivated for years, by made into craft. A premise finally being tested at the highest level. How does a player like this change the shape of a team? How change the chance? On paper, Arsenal's summer business is clear. Directness up front, a striker who will press and finish with a physical presence. Zombie Bendy offers that midfield flank takers player combust on the half turn, the kind of player who can play forward and relieve pressure. Those P's coupled with Declan Rice's defensive solidity sketch a squad built to move the ball and to starve upon of rhythm. But the human variable, Bremen. Bukayo Saka's brilliance is almost a baseline for the end for our season's hamstring absence is unbroken reminder that fitness can tilt narrative overnight. A singles injury, a single misread pass, and title ambition free. That's why a fresh, homegrown spark like Dowman matter beyond novelty. He isn't just talent to be admired in isolation. He's insurance, an alternative plane that could keep ourselves engine humming when key players are one or another lava. Still, realism tempers a romance, so Redknapp, even while lavishing praise, names Liverpool as his peak for the crown. Liverpool began their campaign with a 4-2 win over Bournemouth, and the rhythm for "Further me, Shanprin" is really easy to unsettle. There's also an sorrow woven into that prediction. What happened with Jota last season, he say, was heartbreaking, and such events reverberate through a squad. Emotion becomes motive, and motive becomes performance. Liverpool add the cement to that pent of what makes them dangerous again. For Arsenal, then the season feels like a tightrope. aufwütend. The club has reshaped areas of the pitch and fostered teenager who could one day be household name, but the claim to a title is 1,000 small decisions strung together across months. If Dowman is truly as special as Redknapp believes, the early weeks will tell. Will he be eased in 2 minutes behind more established forwards? Will he appear in Cupty or lat in the league when margin the thig, when mounted? Each cameo is a test, each training ground station a camera in disguise. The wider consequence is not purely about trophy. It's about what a breakthrough would signal for Arsenal's identity. Votre fille si vide. A genuine youngster emerging from the academy would rewrite the club's conversation from expansive bay to cultivated excellence. And that narrative itself can change how upon prepare, how fan expect, and how a season is remembered, or a season is remembered. Yet there's danger in prophecy, brandishing teenager as the next big thing come with pressures that can either sharpen or suffocate. So now, Arsenal's story reads like a thriller draft. Tactical addition, a vital win to start the season, question about fitness, and a teenager with a clean 2, bold 2 in your. Redknapp's line act as both headline and dar. If Max Dowman truly is one of the best young player Redknapp has ever seen, then the stakes are high, not just for a club chasing silverware, but for a league that watches talent transform the possible into the inevitable. The inevitable. Keep your eyes on the next fixture. The season ahead promises to answer whether this is the moment a teenager enters the public imagination or simply another spark that burns bright and then fade. Either way, the first chapter are written, and the next match will decide whether they become history. Also at the other.